All right.
I was gonna like go a little bit like more, just and say like if he needs more time to get his like affairs and whatnot, like basically get back to whole, you know, then know if he ever finds his way out there.
Right. Yeah, he says kind of things like, I've gotten tired of killing, if that's what you're looking for. But out in the wilderness, eh?
At the moment, yes.
Uh, I'll think about it. Maybe if I get tired of drinking myself into a stupor here, after I get some better arms and legs, head up in that direction. Whereabout is it?
Do I have a map?
Yeah.
Okay, I point it out.
Just kind of glances at it and nods. It's like,
basically the lake.
sure.
You know.
You could also Willow would just mention over the radio really quick. You could always like send them to Dawnspire too. There's some nice folk there.
Mm-hmm.
Has a good stopping point if you go heads up that way.
Yeah. I know. Sounds like you said you're through with killing. So, wouldn't if you did make it on that way, I know Dawnspire is a good place to
So
hang your hat.
tired of it. Not that I'm through with it.
It's much better in this place, so it wouldn't be the worst place for you to end up if you did make it to our camp. It wouldn't be too down about it if I heard that's where you ended up. It'd be a better place than this.
Maybe I'll check it out.
So, like, if the protector role, as I mentioned, it was mostly going off of your reputation. It wouldn't need to be what you do. You could honestly just live a simple life and do some farming for all I care.
But thanks. I'll think about it.
That's all I can ask.
He sort of like claps you on the shoulder with his one arm and says, later, Jives. Good luck with Holloway.
Should I mention your name?
Might help.
You could also tell him that we also could use someone with skills to train our folk as well, so
Yes. Yeah.
pass on the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you ever... I hope to see you up there someday.
Yeah.
If anything, you could train the next generation. We've got a few youngins up there.
He just kind of like makes what you approximate to be a smile. I mean, his face is still pretty messed up, so it's like it's more like a grimace. And then like a all right, well, later. Kind of staggers off. Pretty shortly after that, Jives puts down the phone and looks over. He says, "The King Wyatt Holloway will see you for a brief meeting. See if this opportunity is suitable for the city of El Paso."
Fair enough.
He'll step through the elevator there, and he kind of like snaps his fingers, and four of the police officers that are like sort of standing around the room kind of come up to escort you over there.
Okay.
Over the headset, Willow's like, do you think he actually wants to step through it or onto it? Just walk through the wall?
Honor in it.
Yeah, I know, I'm just joking.
I guess go in it.
Yeah, I mean, you follow the lead of your escort, and they step into the elevator and hit like one of the like the top buttons. Well, actually, it's like the top button, which he like presses and then like moves his thumb over to like a little pad next to it, and puts his thumb up against it, and then it like beeps and heads up. So some added security, perhaps.
Fancy.
Is your armor really heavy?
Mine.
Yeah.
Define really heavy, because all of Nollian equipment's a little bit heavier than normal, but
Okay.
depends on what you mean.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. This is a sturdy ass elevator with 4 cops and 2 heavily armored people in it.
It
Yeah,
is
I mean,
pretty sturdy, yeah.
The Nollian heavy armor is 28 pounds, which is pretty heavy.
Oh, okay.
It's not power armor, so it's not like
Gotcha.
Yeah.
hundreds of pounds. But... Yeah. No, it doesn't seem to mind your weight.
Check it.
Yeah.
You have to jump a little bit.
Test the mechanics of it.
Yeah, so you the elevator door
I made
ding.
myself 100 pounds heavier.
You just keep making us all weigh more and more while we're sitting here.
It like slows down as it gets up to the top.
Yeah. There, I found its limit.
The worst guests. Like if like we actually like, if we weren't trying to be friends with people, like we could make the worst house guests.
Oh my god, we would.
Yes.
It'd be so bad.
Yeah, so you get to the top, and door slides open. The police step out, and you come out into like a this sort of like fancy vestibule kind of thing with a couple more guards, and through another door into like this very extravagant office. It's got one of those like big like panoramic windows behind it that looks out over the city. Far enough you can see like past the silver wall into Juarez. And there are a couple of screens off to either side that actually have views from the like the other directions of the city, like the police HQ. You can see that, and sitting in this in this big little recon.
Yep.
This big like fancy wooden desk. There is a guy probably in his like mid 40s with sort of like graying blonde hair, wearing a sort of like Western style nice clothes, so like long coat, dress shirt, gold buttons.
Oh, hold on a second. I think I know exactly what this guy looks like.
It's got like a bit of a handlebar mustache.
Damn.
Did that ruin it?
No, I mean not really. Just close. No handlebar mustache, but yeah. There we go. All right, yeah, he can keep going. I'm gonna put a link.
Find it. Yeah, so he's got his feet sitting like up on his desk, and he, as you guys come in, they drop down, and you see him like sort of studying you with interest.
Oh, there we go. There's a better one. Yeah, it's the Commodore.
Yeah, a little younger.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because he's like mid 40s.
But
so
you said gold. You said coat with gold buttons. Like, oh, I know exactly what this guy's.
That kind of outfit is pretty spot on. Yeah.
Okay. Just a little younger.
Yep, a little younger.
Than James.
Yeah, sure. He's got a cigar in his hand too. That's probably pretty spot on. But he says, "Well, you look like interesting folks, and apparently, from what my associates downstairs tell me, you saved our good man Willoughby from a little pickle he got in, eh?"
It was quite the sour pickle.
Rudge and Willow. Curious names.
Well, some would call us curious folk.
Do you guys both have your helmets on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and says, take off the helmets. I'm curious to see who I'm dealing with. I don't like looking into a blank piece of glass.
Well, you seem to run
Willow.
a diverse city. So,
Yeah, I don't give a shit what you are. Just take off the helmets.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Willow does too. She has
Huh.
no problem with that.
Is that a flower growing on your head?
No, they're horns. Oh no, her.
She like looked at like Rudge. She's like, "What?" Yes, it's what I am.
Huh.
It is me.
Alright. I can't say I've seen anything like YouTube before, but
This is.
got a lot of weird folks come through here.
We're quite
So,
unique, even amongst the weird people.
I'm told you are looking for some equipment, and you're interested in trade with the city, huh? But you don't really have anything right now.
Oh, shit! I totally forgot. Is it cool to retcon that I bowed a little when
Sure.
we were introduced? Because King, I'm a noble.
Yeah.
I know what's up.
Yeah, it's something that Rudge would do. He doesn't comment on it, but
Yeah. And it
Well,
wasn't a deep. It
definitely.
was more of a chest bow. You know, just
yeah,
kinda
just like
a dip.
showing respect without groveling.
Exactly.
Willow does not do that at all.
No, I figured.
Actually,
but-
probably questions outright why Rudge did that.
yeah, that's fine.
Yes, we're looking for fabrication equipment to begin processing some of the raw materials that we have. We are a starting out settlement far to the northeast from here, but eventually we hope to work our way up to being something of a powerful settlement for human refugees and such from the local hostile lands. Currently, our situation is that we have plenty of sustainability, but we have no way to advance ourselves in terms of equipment, and we have the know-how, we just don't have the physical equipment to actually process our materials.
If we would be an outpost, no one would benefit at stopping by.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, you're gonna be. I'd be careful about how big you get here. Might turn into the next Tolkien.
The what?
What?
You might want to look it up. It's it was a city up north. Coalition wiped it off the map a couple years ago. Had a bunch of different weird people, magic, stuff like that. You know, not quite as like much more strange than our city here, but we've got a couple of people that come down from there.
You have survivors of this massacre?
Yep. I don't know any personally, but they're around. I have my sources. But yeah, you're looking for allies. That makes sense. You make this stuff? He points at like your gear.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Willow says. She says, all of this stuff that I am wearing is of my people, and I could make any of it as long as I had the proper fabrication machines, but right now
Let me see your gun.
What's that?
Let me see your gun.
She'll hand it over.
He just kind of looks at it.
She'll give him a brief rundown of how it works, just to
Yeah,
make sure it's similar enough.
All right. Kind of studies it, sort of like looks down the sights and looks over at one of the the monitors on the wall and just like shoots it.
The pulse per.
Yeah. So how much damage did that do? 66.
66, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So it like melts the monitor completely and makes like a small crater on the wall behind it.
Oh, dear.
She'll mention, she says, now, normally the gun doesn't actually produce noise unless you have the actual activator noise on. So someone wearing armor, for instance, could turn the noise off and be completely silent while shooting that.
Yeah. Packs quite a punch for how small it is. It said rechargeable with that little backpack you got.
Yep, that's how it functions. I think she would have explained that. She said, "Yeah, the backpack that I carry here has a charging port for the E-clips. So you take the E-clip off, put it on the backpack, and it charges while you walk around and swap to a different clip."
This is fancy stuff.
The backpack can be left out in sunlight and will recharge the power source.
God, that's so OP. Like, and that's nothing to a plant creature. That's all you would think of as a power source.
Just
Is
naturally
the sun.
sustainable.
Yeah. Whereas, fucking, all solar is just so badass.
Some powerful solar panels. Not that I really know that much about all that stuff. Leave that to the eggheads.
High efficiency solar panels are really difficult to create on this planet because of the limited resources, but with the proper machines I can make it work.
So I assume that you originate from some other world?
Yes, yeah. From my understanding, many of the strange creatures on this planet come through rifts, right?
God, this again.
That's
Yes.
I say that.
Unlike that, us two come from, and she'll point straight up, she says, we both separately landed on this planet from different planets of our own.
Well, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah. Every time we explain it to someone, they look at us like we're crazy, so.
Have I put it together that it was Coalition that were the angry archaeologists?
Yeah, probably at this point you've
Okay.
gotten enough references to them.
Okay, yeah. Upon my landing, I was accosted by these Coalition. That is the first and last I've seen of them.
Well, the fact they didn't come out of that with your head on a stick means you're reasonably capable. Of course, if you're hanging out in the north of here, it's got to be pretty capable.
That's what a few have told us.
Yeah, we're not the bragging type and we're not the overconfident type, but we do know that we are individually quite capable, so.
I wouldn't have been alone in the cosmos if not.
Alright, so you made this offer to anyone else?
No. Well, that's not true.
None that can handle it.
No, you're the only person that we've talked to about actually setting up a trading post yet. We've met a couple other, folks around.
Which have led us to...
here.
Yeah, led us to the king of El Paso.
Yeah, that it has. Alright, well, I like your gun. And your armor looks pretty nice too, to be honest.
She'll take off her gauntlet to show him, to actually see how it's much different than the standard stuff that the Earthlings wear.
Yeah, it looks like some fancy shit.
It's all modular, so if something breaks, it's easy enough to fix.
Alright, tell you what, I'll send word to some of my boys down where we make our stuff, and you give me a list of general specifications for your gear, just what it does, what you can make.
Well, it probably actually has a list already written on.
You just immediately
Yeah, hand on the list.
It's well, there you go. I'll send this down to them, and they'll take a look at it. We give you the stuff, and you deliver us some of this equipment of yours in the future.
Yeah.
Now, of course, trade. We got a lot of commodities here.
Are you
You're looking for
only
things, you can supply them.
Are you only interested in arms and armament?
For the most part. Depends on what else you got, I guess.
Possibly just other
There's-
tech.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's war brewing in this region. Want to make sure that my boys are...
Not particularly.
Really? Well, it should be of interest to you. I'll give you this tidbit of information for free.
Thank you. You're too generous.
Based on our relationship. I know, I really am. But,
I smiled. I mean, I try to hide it a little, but no.
Yeah, the Coalition's campaign of unity is turning their gaze down this way.
Actually, we have heard of that, actually. Someone else mentioned that.
There's rumors going around.
But
It's official. There's a certain... I believe there are forces are congregating in the Lone Star... what was that place called? The Lone Star Complex. Under the command of Field Marshal Wallace McGrath. Some bigwig. He was at Tolkien. And last I heard he was out fighting against the Federation of Magic out east, but he's turned his gaze this way. Our best guess is they're going after the Pecos boys, but
the Pecos boys?
Yeah, the Pecos bandits.
The Coalition is after some bandits?
Well, it's a lot of bandits. And they're led by some guy named Sabre Lassar. Never met him personally, but all the nut jobs out there love him, apparently.
So I have a question. Maybe you could answer. What is this campaign of unity, if you know?
Well, it's your bigwig emperor of the Coalition saying that he's the boss of everyone who is human, and everyone who isn't human should be disintegrated.
Is the king here? Is he a human? As far as we can tell?
He looks to be human, yeah.
Do you have any worries about the campaign, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, El Paso will pull through fine.
Not what I meant, sir. You personally. You appear human.
Ah, well, I'm human. But...
So, you yourself...
Yeah, it would be messy if they came here. Either we'd have to... My objective is to get, which you'd be helping with, get as much deterrent as possible. Make us too difficult to bother with. While you got the juicier targets surrounding us. And, well, if that doesn't pan out, then...
Which targets
we'll have more guns.
Well, so being human, they would meet with you and possibly parley instead of killing you on sight.
It's a possibility, although I find it a greater possibility they'd want to institute one of their coalition governors here to start brainwashing the population. Also, they killed like everyone who's not human or doesn't have the right amount of fingers or whatever.
Sounds ruthless. Sounds like some of the purges I've witnessed on other worlds.
Oh yeah, they're quite fond of those.
Oh, so they happen here as well.
Yep. Seen a few myself.
Do you think that the forces here would stand in unison against him, or is it too ragtag? Like, I don't mean to offend you in any way, but...
You mean our city?
It seems like your city seems to... There seems to be a lot of gangs that seem to be looking out for themselves. Do you think
chaos here?
Do you think the chaos here would unite to actually possess a real front to the coalition, or would they more likely try to flee and survive?
I'm sure plenty of them would run away, but I'm not placing my eggs in the baskets of irregulars. I'm focused on making my police force the most capable it can be. Now, let me be clear: if McGrath comes down here with his whole force, multiple armies, we'll be wiped off the map if he wants to. But
McGrath?
yeah, the field marshal.
Ah.
We should write that down before we forget.
Is it Bloodbath McGrath?
Maybe that's his nickname. It's Wallace McGrath is his name. Field Marshal Wallace McGrath.
Wallace Bloodbath McGrath.
Like that?
Yep.
So, with the specifications I gave you, they'll tell you what my suit and everything and armor and weapons are capable of. If we enter an agreement where we can actually supply you with more weapons and stuff, I would like to take a look at your actual police force and see if there's more I could do. If you actually are a target of a purge, one of the main reasons why I'm on this planet is to prevent humans from being in danger, even if it is from other humans.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. You can talk to my police chief about that sort of thing. I'll get a meeting arranged with you. So to hash out the details of this agreement, we can provide you with some equipment. They'll tell you how much you can take. I'm guessing you probably... Well, let's not worry about the monetary cost of this stuff. I don't know how much money you got, but probably not enough for the amount that you want.
No, I do believe a trade would be a barter. Neither of us are native of this planet. Credits don't seem to be a very good source of trade for us, so
we'll work out a call it a loan, and you'll simply owe the city of El Paso a certain number of supplies provided by your new facilities.
Do you have an engineer that I could speak to and we could talk terms of actual materials?
Yeah, they'll work out the details.
Yeah, we can. That is a fair trade in our...
After that, we would expect you to keep supplying us, and we will give you whatever in return. Like I said, there's plenty of commodities that flow through El Paso.
Yes, I mean, that's precisely what we're looking for.
You don't want to be given credits, and there's no point using them out there.
Yeah, we can discuss the agreement later. Initial terms of the trade for weapons and arms seems to be fair given the current circumstances.
Alright, well, let me make some calls. I'll get you set up with the people you need to be set up with, and we'll be interested in doing business with you. I think it gives you kind of like a smile.
Yes, if we don't plan on staying in town terribly longer, we do have some other places we plan on exploring, so if you have any further need to get a hold of us, we are parked out front of your hotel.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I stayed there for a week. It was quite nice.
Best damn place in town. That's why I put my name on it.
It is quite luxurious.
Know it. All right, I think our business is done. You can leave.
Well, nods.
Makes like a little chewing motion.
Yep, I do. My small chest bow thing again.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, by the time you guys step away, he's already like stopped paying attention to you.
Yep.
He's gone. Seems to be getting on to like talk to someone.
Perfect.
Um.
I like him. He's quick. Gets to the point.
Yep. That's definitely one of the more efficient kings I've met. Most of them stand on all the circumstance or whatever.
You're guessing.
Ceremony.
You're guessing that he's probably not a king by blood, like some of the previous ones you've met. It seems as though people are just like calling themselves kings out here.
Yeah, it's by title.
Yeah,
Only.
it's just like I'm the king because I'm in charge and I want to be the king. All right, yeah. So you guys, you go back down to the lower parts of the tower. Why don't you guys give me a perception roll as you're leaving?
I can't. I'm not next to my dice. Hold
on. 17, sorry.
17.
17.
Okay.
Stop copying me.
I can't. Stop rolling before me.
Yeah, so like shortly before you like head back down from the front, there's you get into like the vestibule area, and you only really notice this because you have like I mean, Willow, with your like enhanced senses of varying types. Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for both of you for different reasons.
Hooray!
Willow, you sense like a higher concentration of like moisture in the air, like water vapor, in like a particular direction, which kind of draws your attention towards the bottom of one of the doors, which is it seems to have a little bit of like just like sort of mist creeping out from under it, or just sort of swirling around it. And Rudge, you get a feeling of just like of cold coming from that direction.
Huh.
Seems like a like normal secure metal door like all the other ones up there, but just
Is
something.
there anybody else around that seems to notice it or not notice it?
Yeah, I mean, there's the police that are like standing guard around here. They don't seem to mind it or notice it. That's the only other people up here, though.
Should we point that out? That looks unsafe.
Something's happening behind that door.
Oh yeah, is that like a separate door, like opposite where we're going? Sorry.
Yeah, it's like as you're walking back to the elevator, you walk by this door.
Oh. What's in there?
The police guy, like one of the guys who's walking in says, "Not your business. Don't worry about it."
Fair enough.
Seems it's freezing in there.
He kind of gives you a look and says, "I'd forget you. Just don't worry about it."
Now, called me odd. Is there a way I could rent that room?
No. It's Holloway's business up on this floor.
Oh.
Anything behind closed doors is for his eyes only.
Who would I see about how the room is made so cold?
I don't know. Refrigerator guy?
Alright, I will look for a refrigerator guy.
Like a fake address that leads into the slums.
Yeah. Thank you.
He just like stares at you like, what the hell?
I have my reasons.
But yep, alright, so you ride down to the bottom of the tower. Yeah, so to sort of abridge the remaining part of this, you find your way over to like one of the like outbuildings of the police HQ, and you're introduced to the police chief, whose name is written down somewhere here. Chief Jefferson.
Thought you were gonna say Wiggum.
Nope.
Like, yes. We got this.
Jefferson. Seems like a standard sort of like military type guy. And he runs you through the basics of like their operation here. It's fairly extensive.
Are they set up more like a militia rather than a police? Or are they set up?
They are, yeah, like, they call themselves the police, and they do police work, but they're like a standing army.
Okay, that's how I was thinking.
More than anything.
So is the whole place under like martial law?
More or less, yeah.
Right.
It's just like permanent martial law, because they're just, the police force is the militia defenders of the city.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see here. They are... Okay, yeah, so general quantity of members is they have about 800 just like foot troopers, like policemen.
Okay.
200 motorcycle with like pilots.
Yeah.
50 power armor operatives for like light power armor, which they have. It's like the Northern Gun Titan power armor, I think it is, it's like flying.
Okay, the flying Titan power armor.
Yeah, I think it's it's the one that's like sort of similar to the Sandmass.
Yep.
They have some like police dogs and like cybernetic police dogs and a couple of combat Borg. A handful of other different heavier vehicles that don't really get used as much. More power armor, a couple of robots, some APCs, and then they also have a small group of mages and psychics who do the magic side of things.
Magic and psychic things.
Yep. And they also seem to place a pretty big emphasis on anti-vampire training. All their people are trained in the killing of vampires and equipped.
Have we actually inquired into this yet? I feel like...
I don't think so, not really.
Okay, well, I was just gonna like bluntly ask, like, why is everyone so paranoid about vampires? I have yet to see one.
Jefferson kind of smiles and says, well, that's because there ain't any vampires in El Paso. But that's only because the police have driven them all out with our expertise at killing the bastards.
I thought those things in the coffin were vampires, Willow.
That's what I thought too. Okay, so actually she's gonna actually bring that up and like describe what they saw. What? Like, is that a vampire?
I have
Yeah,
pictures.
sounds like vampires to me.
I have video evidence, actually.
You didn't see them around here, did you?
No, they were over there. I don't know where.
Yeah, it was a while back over in like
Freak Show's town.
territory. Yeah.
So are they native to these parts, and or are they?
Well, the bunch of wild ones all over the place. The further south you go, the more there are.
Okay.
Plague. Some of them are smarter than others, but most of the time they're just monsters.
Sounds dangerous.
So with everybody being trained to fight them, do you guys still frequently see them?
Sometimes we go on a rural patrol and mop up any of the wild ones that have wandered in, but we we keep them in check enough that we don't have to fight them too frequently.
Okay.
Down in Juarez, I don't know how much better they are. They say they don't have any vampires there, but well, let's just say there's a reason why we built a wall with silver spikes on it in between them and us.
Oh, is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's gonna, yeah. I don't know how long like Rudge would be like interested in like listening to all the technical stuff about the police things.
Actually, as long as it goes on, but then at the end, I would want to talk. I'd have a question for Police Chief Jefferson.
Sure.
So I have a few concerns about your police force, and I don't mean to be rude in any way, but one of my closest companions is a military expert, and one thing he mentioned is that all equipment, no matter how little you use it, should be kept in pristine condition. With the threat of the coalition, I do hope that the bigger artillery and machines you mentioned are at least being kept in top shape, seeing as they might be used sooner rather than later.
Oh, they're in good condition. Nothing to worry about there.
Okay.
We've got the quality, it's just the quantity that we're lacking.
Okay. And you have enough people trained to use them?
Certainly.
Okay.
I mean, our force is enough that nothing short of the coalition is going to bother us here. But if they brought all their forces to bear, it'd be a hell of a fight.
Have you ever actually encountered the coalition? Like a war party or anything? Like actually engage them, or
something of this scale?
Have you ever actually done like real battle with them and not just a skirmish of any kind? Because I'm curious as to what.
Acting on behalf of the El Paso police force or personally?
Either.
Life.
I've had a couple skirmishes with people adjacent to them, shall we say. El Paso is officially neutral in regards to Lone Star. Has been for quite some time. It's just that the king is thinking that with this campaign of unity, old Emperor Prozac might be thinking he's gonna, want to expand his territory down here.
Unify the South.
Yeah, exactly. Damn Yankees.
Yep. What?
I'm curious as to what type of equipment they have. I've yet to engage the coalition. They seem to be closer to our settlement than I would like based on what I've heard from them.
Yeah, you should be worried. They got good shit from what I hear, especially from that Lone Star complex. Hear a lot of... That's their big science base in this parts.
How inclined in science are they?
I don't know, to be honest.
Very.
I mean, they have. Well, we saw didn't somebody show us like an image of a Death Head transport?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they have.
Or at least described it verbally.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I think it was Boone Hobo Gang that described it. So you heard a secondhand account from a hobo.
Yeah, that's great. So, pardon me, I need to speak with my companion here for a second in private.
Sure.
I'm just gonna take like a step away, then go to comms.
Yeah.
So Rudge, I'm thinking that the coalition will eventually work their way here, even if they don't actually take this place over. How would you feel about a scouting mission to the coalition territories?
That's fine. It seems we can't get caught. If we do, we're going to die.
What I'm worried about is, like, I don't know what their equipment is, and...
Whose equipment?
The coalition.
It seems the best around.
What I'm concerned about is I do know that there are ways that higher technologies, and from my understanding, the psychics that live on this world have a way of detecting supernatural beings. And or...
That seems...
Yes, the dog boys in Dawnspire mentioned that they could track supernatural beings.
Smell supernatural creatures.
And we have several of them in our base. So if they can actually track them, we don't know what kind of distance.
That how close are we? It seems like it's quite a distance.
You also know that dog boys originate from the Coalition. Like the ones that were in Dawnspire were all deserters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how close we are in direct proximity, but if their refugees are in the towns that we've crossed, that means we're close enough for them to physically run to. Which, with how hostile this world is, I can't imagine it's that far if they can run to it.
Well,
I'm thinking that we might need to up our military game a little more than what we were thinking.
Ah, good. I was hoping you weren't going to say uproot our town, because I'm stubborn that way. I'd rather battle them than move.
Yes, I mean,
Line in the sand.
Yep.
I am pretty much of the same thing, as I would rather fight them, which is why I wanted to scout out what they have, because I don't want to develop a weapon and defense system if they can just counter it directly.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. That's good,
So
good thinking. I'm down for a scout mission.
I think that should be our next goal.
Alright, should we do the weapon shipment on the way? Ah, whatever, deal with that later.
I feel like that might need to be put on hold as much as I would like to
That's fine.
worry about it.
Alright. So, should we back to him? We've been standing here a little while.
Oh yes. I'll like just suddenly like turn back to him. Sorry about that.
He actually, like, while you guys were talking, he like stepped away to like the group of police that were like sort of walking around with you.
That's actually perfect, because Willow would just turn and start talking as if he's there.
Oh,
And then be
okay.
like, oh wait.
There's probably about 30 guys who are like walking around with you.
Okay.
As you like go through the part of the base that they decided to let you in.
Okay.
So after like a couple seconds, he notices you're done, like steps back over and says, yep. So, yeah, I mean, King says that you got good stuff. Looks like it's pretty good to me.
Actually, do you have a training ground here, like a target range?
We do, yep.
Let's go. Let me show you. Actually,
Sure. Yeah,
thing
they head over the range.
So Willow won't hold back. She'll even like inside her armor, she'll go into her metal form, so she gets a little bit better combat stats.
Yeah.
Just focus wise, and she'll just do